Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to English Ascent Daily. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you are making a promise that tomorrow may never keep. The real danger is not one delayed task. The danger is your life slowly disappearing as you wait. That job application remains unfinished. That morning walk never begins. That important phone call is never made. That dream stays inside an old notebook. You think you are moving one task to another day. But sometimes you are also moving your health, confidence, relationships, and future with it. Tomorrow sounds safe, it sounds friendly, it asks nothing from you right now. That is why it can be dangerous. It gives you comfort today and sends the bill to your future self. And trust me, your future self is tired of receiving your unpaid bills. If you have said tomorrow for months or years, this may be the moment when that word finally loses its power over you. Maybe you have noticed something strange. When an important task appears, everything else suddenly looks interesting. You check one message, then another. You make coffee. You watch one short video, and somehow 40 minutes disappear. You may even clean a drawer that you ignored for 6 months. Amazing. That drawer becomes important only when real work is waiting. This does not always mean you are lazy. Often, the task brings an uncomfortable feeling. You may feel afraid, confused, bored, or unsure, so your mind looks for quick relief. Delaying the task feels good for a moment, but the task does not disappear. It waits, it grows, it becomes heavier. Soon, you are not only avoiding the task, you are also avoiding the guilt created by avoiding it. That is how one small tomorrow begins to control a large part of your life. The habit often begins with something small. You leave one dish in the sink. You ignore one email. You skip one walk. None of these choices can destroy your life in one day. The problem begins when the choice becomes a pattern. Each delay sends a quiet message to your mind. The message says, my plans are not important. My words do not matter. I cannot trust myself to begin. After hearing that message many times, your confidence becomes weak. You may still have big dreams, but you stop believing your own promises. You say you will start on Monday, but a small voice inside you laughs because it has heard that before. This is why procrastination is not only a problem with time, it can become a problem with self-trust. You cannot build a strong life if you do not believe the person making your plans, and that person is you. Think of your future self as a real person. That person will wake up tomorrow with a body, a mind, a schedule, and problems of their own. Yet you often treat that person like a free personal assistant. You leave the hard work on the desk and say, future me will handle it. Future, you must finish the report, begin the diet, call the dentist, fix the budget, and somehow remain cheerful. That is a lot to ask before breakfast. Your future self is not stronger because the calendar changed. That person will have the same fears and the same wish for comfort. If you do not make the task easier today, it may feel even harder tomorrow. Respecting your future starts with helping that person now. Even 10 minutes of work can be a gift. It says, I did not leave everything for you. I carried part of the weight. Daniel Brooks understood this only after wasting many months. He was 36 and lived in Columbus, Ohio. He worked at a busy hardware store. He was dependable at work. He arrived on time. He helped customers. He covered shifts when another worker was sick. Everyone thought Daniel was responsible. But his personal life told a different story. He wanted to apply for a better position at the company office. The job offered better pay and better hours. Daniel had the experience. His manager even told him to apply. Daniel smiled and said, "I will do it this weekend." The weekend came. He opened the application, read the first question, and closed it. He decided that he needed fresh coffee first. Then he watched a football game. By Sunday night, he said, "Next weekend will be better." The job application was not Daniel's only tomorrow. He wanted to walk every morning because his back often felt stiff. He wanted to save money for a small house. He wanted to visit his father in Cincinnati more often. He also wanted to take an evening class at the local community college. His dreams were not wild or impossible. They were normal dreams. They needed normal steps. But Daniel kept waiting for a perfect day. He imagined a morning when he would wake up full of energy. The house would be clean. The weather would be beautiful. His mind would be clear. Nothing would interrupt him. That perfect morning never arrived. Perfect mornings are very rare. They may live in the same place as flying horses and socks that never disappear in the washing machine. One cold Monday morning, Daniel was looking for a receipt in his kitchen. He found an old yellow note under a stack of mail. The note said, "Start today. Your life will not wait." Daniel remembered writing it on New Year's Day. He checked the date. 11 months had passed. He sat at the kitchen table and looked at those 5 words. Nothing terrible had happened during those months. That was what frightened him. His life had not fallen apart. It had simply stayed the same. He had gone to work, paid his bills, bought groceries, watched television, and slept. He had been busy, but he had not moved toward the life he wanted. Daniel suddenly understood that a life can be lost quietly. It does not always disappear in one great disaster. Sometimes it disappears through thousands of small delays. Daniel did not feel a sudden wave of great motivation. There was no powerful music playing in the kitchen. No wise stranger knocked on his door. He still felt tired. He still wanted another cup of coffee. But he opened his laptop and set a timer for 10 minutes. He did not tell himself to finish the application. He only promised to work on it until the timer rang. During those 10 minutes, he answered 2 questions and found his old resume. It was not much, but it was real. When the timer rang, Daniel noticed something important. Starting had been harder than working. Before he began, the task felt like a mountain. After 10 minutes, it looked more like a hill. He worked for 15 more minutes. That morning did not change his whole life, but it changed the direction of his day. Many people wait for motivation before they act. They believe motivation is the engine and action is the car. But life often works in the opposite way. A small action can create motivation. When you begin, your mind receives new information. The task is no longer a dark mystery. You can see what needs to be done. You feel a little progress. Progress gives you energy. This is why the first step has so much power. You do not need enough energy for the whole road. You need enough energy for one step. A person who walks for 5 minutes has done more than a person who spends an hour planning the perfect exercise routine. A person who writes one sentence has moved farther than a person who waits for the perfect idea. Action makes the next action easier. The first way to defeat tomorrow is to make the task clear. A vague task feels heavy. Fix my life is too large. Get healthy is too unclear. Improve my career gives your mind no place to begin. Your brain sees a cloud, not a road. Change the large wish into a visible action. Instead of saying, "I need a better job," say, "I will update the first section of my resume." Instead of saying, "I need to get healthy," say, "I will put on my shoes and walk to the end of the block." Instead of saying, "I should call my family more," say, "I will call Dad at 7 tonight." Clear actions reduce fear because your mind knows exactly what to do. Next, make the first step almost too easy. If your room is a mess, do not begin with the whole room. Pick up 5 things. If you want to read, open the book and read 1 page. If you want to learn a new skill, watch the first lesson and take 3 notes. If you want to write, create the document and write 1 bad sentence. Yes, a bad sentence is allowed. It has an important job. It breaks the empty page. You can improve a bad sentence, but you cannot improve a sentence that does not exist. Small steps may look weak, but they are not weak. They are doors. Once the door is open, you can choose to walk farther. Even if you stop after the small step, you have kept your promise. That matters. It also helps to choose an exact time and place. I will do it later is not a plan. Later has no clock and no address. Give the task both. Say, at 7 o'clock, after dinner, I will sit at the kitchen table and work on my application for 20 minutes. Now your mind can see the moment. Connect the new action to something you already do. After I brush my teeth, I will stretch for 5 minutes. After I make my morning coffee, I will read 1 page. After I park my car at work, I will take 3 slow breaths before I go inside. A clear plan removes 1 decision. When the time comes, you do not need to ask, "Should I do it?" You already answered that question. Your environment also matters. Do not place temptation beside you and then demand perfect strength from yourself. If your phone steals your attention, put it in another room for 20 minutes. If television keeps you on the couch, leave the remote across the room. If you want to walk in the morning, place your shoes near the door at night. If you want to eat a better breakfast, prepare something simple before bed. Make good actions easy to reach. Make distracting actions a little harder. You do not need to become a different person. Sometimes you only need to move the phone. That small object has ended more good plans than many great enemies in history. It sits quietly, lights up, and says, "This will take only a second." We all know that second has a very large family. There is another reason people delay. They want the result to be perfect. Perfection sounds like a high standard, but it often becomes a hiding place. If you believe your work must be perfect, beginning feels dangerous. A mistake may make you feel foolish. A weak first attempt may hurt your pride, so you do nothing. Then you can keep the pleasant idea that you could have done something wonderful. You simply did not have time, but an unfinished dream cannot teach you anything. A poor first attempt can. It shows you what to change. It gives you experience. Every skilled person was once a beginner who made visible mistakes. The difference is not that successful people avoid bad first steps. The difference is that they survive them and take a second step. Imagine 2 people who want to learn to paint. The first person spends 6 months searching for the best brushes, the perfect class, and the right room. The second person buys simple supplies and paints 1 ugly tree. Which person is closer to becoming an artist? The person with the ugly tree. That tree may look as if it needs medical help, but it is still progress. The second painting will be better because the first one existed. The same is true for a business, a speech, a resume, a workout, or a difficult conversation. Give yourself permission to begin badly. Your goal is not to impress the world on the first day. Your goal is to become better through practice. Fear of failure is powerful, but sometimes people also fear success. Success can bring new duties. A better job may require new skills. A healthy life may change old friendships. Finishing a book may invite other people to judge it. Your current life may not be perfect, but it is familiar. The mind often chooses familiar discomfort over unfamiliar possibility. When you notice this fear, do not insult yourself. Name it. Say, part of me is afraid because change is uncertain. Then take one safe step. Courage does not mean that fear disappears. Courage means fear is no longer driving the car. It may sit in the back seat and complain, but it does not choose the road. Be careful, however, not to call every rest period procrastination. Rest is necessary. Sleep is necessary. Fun is necessary. Your mind and body are not machines. Healthy rest has a purpose. It helps you return with more strength. Procrastination feels different. During real rest, you allow yourself to stop. During procrastination, the unfinished task remains in the room with you. You watch a movie, but part of your mind is worried. You lie on the couch, but guilt lies beside you. The body is still, yet the mind is not peaceful. Ask yourself, am I choosing to rest, or am I escaping a feeling? If you truly need rest, take it without shame. Decide when you will return. A clear rest is better than 3 hours of guilty avoidance. Some delays are more costly than others. People postpone taking care of their health because they hope a problem will disappear. They delay a walk because one walk seems too small. They delay making an appointment because the call feels uncomfortable. But your body lives only in the present. It cannot exercise yesterday, and it cannot sleep last week. You do not need to create a perfect health plan in one afternoon. Drink a glass of water, walk for 10 minutes, prepare one simple meal, call the clinic if something needs attention. Small care given today is more useful than a beautiful plan for next month. Your health does not need a dramatic promise. It needs regular respect. Relationships can also become victims of tomorrow. You think, I will call my mother this weekend. You think, I will tell my friend that I am sorry. You think, I will spend more time with my children when work becomes less busy. But life does not send a message before things change. People move, children grow, parents become older, friendships become quiet. Do not wait for the perfect words. Say the simple words now. I miss you. Thank you. I was wrong. Can we talk? A 5-minute call can carry more love than a long message you never send. The right time for kindness is rarely tomorrow. Daniel learned this lesson when his father called one Saturday morning. Daniel almost ignored the call because he wanted to sleep. Then he saw the yellow note on his desk. Start today, he answered. His father asked if Daniel could visit the next weekend. Daniel's usual answer was, let me check. This time, he opened his calendar while they were speaking. He chose Sunday and wrote it down. The visit was simple. They ate lunch at a small diner outside Cincinnati. They talked about work, baseball, and an old family car that never started in winter. Nothing dramatic happened. Yet while driving home, Daniel felt deeply thankful. He understood that meaningful moments often look ordinary while they are happening. Money and career plans also suffer when they live only in your head. You may say you will save when you earn more. You may say you will apply when you feel more confident. You may say you will learn a useful skill when life becomes less busy. But more money can bring more expenses. Confidence often comes after action, and life has a special talent for remaining busy. Begin with what you have. Save a small amount automatically. Read the first job description. Ask one person for advice. Take one free lesson. You are not signing a contract with your whole future. You are gathering information and creating choices. A closed door cannot show you what is behind it. Touch the handle. After Daniel worked on his application for several short sessions, he reached the final page. His finger rested above the submit button. Suddenly, every old fear returned. What if they rejected him? What if he got the job and failed? What if his coworkers laughed? He almost closed the laptop. Then he asked a better question. What happens if I do nothing? He already knew that answer. Nothing would change. Daniel took a breath and clicked submit. The room remained quiet. No fireworks appeared. His laptop did not sing, but Daniel stood up feeling taller. He had kept a promise to himself. 3 weeks later, he received an interview. He did not know if he would get the job, but he had already won something important. He had stopped rejecting himself before anyone else had the chance. This question can help you too. What happens if I do nothing? We often imagine the pain of action, but we ignore the pain of staying the same. Exercise may feel difficult, but poor health can feel more difficult. Studying may be tiring, but limited choices can be more tiring. A hard conversation may be uncomfortable, but years of silence can hurt more. Saving money may require sacrifice, but constant financial fear has a cost. Every choice has a price. Even doing nothing has a price. The bill may not arrive today, which is why delay feels cheap. But over time, interest is added. One day you may realize that avoiding a small discomfort created a much larger one. Do not use this message to attack yourself for the past. Shame may make you feel active, but it often creates more hiding. You cannot change yesterday by speaking cruelly to yourself. You can learn from it. Maybe you delayed because you were afraid. Maybe nobody taught you how to break a large goal into small steps. Maybe you were tired, hurt, or confused. Understand the reason, but do not build a home there. Self-forgiveness does not mean, my choices do not matter. It means, my past choice will not control my next choice. You can be honest and kind at the same time. Say, yes, I waited too long, but I am here now, and now is still useful. Daniel did not become perfect after clicking submit. A few days later, he skipped his morning walk. The old voice returned. It said, see, you never change. In the past, Daniel would have used one missed day as permission to quit. This time he answered, I missed one day. I did not lose my whole future. He walked after dinner instead. This is an important skill. Do not turn a small mistake into a new identity. Missing once is an event. Quitting is a decision. Return quickly. If Monday goes badly, Tuesday is still available. You do not need another new year, another birthday, or another perfect month. You need the next honest moment. At the end of each evening, choose one promise for the next day. Only one. Write it clearly. Keep it small enough to complete. Prepare the first step before you sleep. Put the document on your desk. Lay out your shoes. Write the phone number on a note. Place the book beside your coffee cup. In the morning, do that action before the day becomes crowded. This simple practice can rebuild self-trust. You do not need a list of 20 promises. A long list often becomes a museum of good intentions. One promise completed is stronger than 20 promises admired. In the morning, do not begin by asking how you feel. Feelings are real, but they change quickly. If every action needs the permission of your mood becomes your boss. Ask, what did I decide when my mind was clear? Then begin for 5 minutes. You can stop after 5 minutes if you truly need to. Most of the time, the resistance becomes smaller once you move. The cold floor feels worst before your feet leave the warm bed. The blank page feels worst before the first sentence. The unopened door creates more fear than the room behind it. Begin before your excuses have finished breakfast. Remember that a planned delay is different from avoidance. Sometimes tomorrow is truly the right time. You may need information, money, help, or rest. A thoughtful plan sounds like this. I cannot do this at the moment, so I will do it at 10 tomorrow morning. and I have prepared what I need. Avoidance sounds like this: I will do it sometime later. One has a time, a reason, and a first step. The other is only a comfortable fog. You do not need to complete every task immediately. You need to stop lying to yourself about tasks you have no real plan to begin. Weeks after Daniel found the yellow note, he received the new position. The higher pay helped, but the biggest change was not on his paycheck. He began to see himself differently. He was still an ordinary man with ordinary problems. He still became tired. He still enjoyed football and sometimes spent too long choosing what to watch. But now he noticed the moment when tomorrow entered his mind. He did not always defeat it, but he questioned it. Why not 5 minutes now? That small question helped him walk more often, save a little money, and call his father every Sunday. His life did not change through one giant act. It changed because he stopped giving every important moment away. Your life may be waiting behind one small action, too. Perhaps there is an application on your computer. Perhaps there is a pair of walking shoes near the door. Perhaps there is a person whose number you keep looking at but never call. Perhaps there is a book you want to open, a room you want to clean, or an idea you want to test. You do not need to finish it all when this message ends. But do not leave without touching the first step. Open the page, put on the shoes, write the first line, send the short message. Let your action be small, but let it be real. There will always be reasons to wait. You may be busy, you may feel unsure, the weather may be bad, someone may not support you, you may not have the best tools. These problems matter, but they do not always need to disappear before you begin. Start with the part you can control. A seed does not wait for a perfect world. It uses the soil around it. Your beginning may be slow, it may be messy, nobody may notice it. That is fine. Quiet beginnings can create loud results. The work you do when nobody is watching may build the life that everyone notices later. One day, tomorrow will not be available. That is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to wake you. Time is valuable because it moves. You cannot hold it, store it, or buy back the years you gave away. But you do have this moment. This moment may not look special. You may be sitting in a bedroom, a kitchen, a parked car, or a quiet office. Still, it contains a choice. You can repeat the old sentence, or you can create a new one. Instead of saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," say, "I will begin a small part now." So choose one thing, not 5 things, not your whole life. Choose one honest task that has been waiting for you. Make it clear, make it small, give it a time and place. Remove one distraction. Work for 5 minutes. If fear appears, let it appear. If the first attempt is poor, let it be poor. If you missed yesterday, forgive yesterday. Your job is not to feel perfect. Your job is to begin. Each small action will tell your mind, "I can trust myself again." That trust will grow every time you keep a promise. The life you want is not hiding in some perfect future. It is being built by what you do with ordinary minutes. A better future does not arrive only because the date changes. It arrives because your actions change. Tomorrow can hold your plans, but it should not become the place where all your courage goes to sleep. Let tomorrow receive the results of what you begin today, not the weight of everything you avoided. Before you leave, remember the yellow note Daniel found after 11 months. Start today. Your life will not wait. Write those words somewhere you can see them. Then take your first small step. Your future self does not need another promise. Your future self needs your help. Thank you for spending this time with English Ascent Daily. If this message helped you, share it with someone who keeps waiting for the perfect day. Keep listening, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, do not say, I'll do it tomorrow. Begin now. The end.